Previously on this old wall, there we were in Concord, California, where we had to make some necessary repairs to the retaining wall and the fence on the east property line. The yard slopes west to east, but it also slopes north to south. And taking care of the south property line, here we are with the son of this old wall with a similar situation. So what we got to do is get in the Wayback Machine. I bought the house in '89, and the fence along the back there was old already. And along about '03, here's the way it was looking. You can see, held together with ropes and looking pretty shabby. There it is, propped up with a shovel. So anyway, it had to go. And here's the situation. The view from the other guy behind me. That's my fence. And that's his fence there, a little shorter fence, which is on top of this concrete retaining wall here. So, here's Jack removing the last of the fence posts on that concrete wall where the new fence went up on. And there it is. That's a definite improvement. So that took care of that in '03. So fast forward back to the future, about 11 years or so, and you can see a little wear and tear there. Same situation basically that was on the other east side wall there. Boards getting loose. You can see the daylight. I kind of got them jury-rigged together there. And you can see how the yard is just kind of cascading down the hillside, piling up against the bottom of the fence. So these issues need to be addressed. Got to get the dirt out of there. You can see what we're facing here. Similar process here like the other one. Tighten it up with the cables there and secure it with some 1x1 strips. So what I had to do was add some pressure treated 2x4s there along the bottom to kind of beef things up. And there were a number of these stubs here from where the pipes were removed. Fortunately for me, I knew a wood carver who left me a nice set of chisels. So I gouged out a little pocket here on the underside so it would fit over that stub nicely. And we're good to go. So here's what remains of the original retaining wall. And I could dig it out and pry it over again the way it's supposed to be, but even then it's up high and the dirt would be going underneath it anyway. So over here in the corner I had one of those original fence pipes there. It's been knocking around the yard for the last 11 years. Brace up the corner there, which goes to show you, you keep something long enough, it'll come in handy. So you can see how it wasn't going to work. So it had to go. And luckily for me, I had a stump from the cypress tree out front that I cut. Just the right height and angle and everything. Attached it here on the end to hold up the stub. And we're on our way. More dirt needing to be cleaned out. There you can see the fence all buttoned up. The dirt all cleared away. The fence washed, treated with the wood cleaner solution. And figured I'd continue on around the corner. Might as well do it all. So same process with the transparent stain. Here's the garden. I got the strawberries going, the cherry peppers, the hot cherry peppers, and the bell peppers, and some cantaloupe. There's the basil and oregano there in the pots. Some tomatoes. Looking good. Putting it down in the trench. I kept encountering these chunks of concrete here, which are from the original retaining wall and on the hillside here from the original fence. Pain in the neck having to pry them out of there like that, so that's where the hammer comes in handy to chip this stuff out. That works a lot better. So, time to start laying the bricks down. And here, of course, during my excavation of the site, or my archaeological finds, a couple of brontosaurus bones, piece of amber there. I don't know what it is. It looks like something, but it doesn't have the mosquito in it with the brontosaurus DNA. But I saved them anyway. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. So anyway, time to start laying the bricks. These blocks were cluttering up the space there at the landscape shop, the school district. So I said, sure, I'll do you a favor there and take those off your hands. And thank you very much. Now, as you can see, they weren't enough. Here's the truck unloaded. You can see it's about 15 inches or so clearance from the trailer hitch, and loaded up, it's sunk down about 6 inches because of this. I had to get 2 trips, pallets of blocks there to finish the job. So there's that. Now this here little tool, you may remember, I made for when I was doing the driveway. It's a piece of 1x6 steel plate that I bolted a couple handles on. It weighs about 40 pounds. So it works good for compacting and also for leveling out. It's got the beveled edge on it there. So that's a good thing I saved it in the garage there all these years. So now You got the starting with the bricks. You have to stagger the seams, so you need a half a brick on the end, and I don't have a saw. So you drill a hole and you put some wedges in there and give them a few taps, and there you have it, half a brick. So once you start building up the bricks, you gotta have a little drainage system here for the rain runoff. So you have to put in these French drains. I'm not sure why the French get credit for everything. They got the fried potatoes, they got the windows and the coffee press and the vanilla, even the kisses. But somehow it's a French drain anyway, which is basically a pipe with holes in the side, off center like that. So the rain runoff goes in the holes and out the bottom of the pipe into this flex pipe here at the end, which goes out the side there into the drainage ditch on the other yard. So before you put the drain pipe there, you gotta lay in some backfill gravel, which is a good spot for some of the chunks that from the busted up the concrete that was holding the old fence posts. And you got to add to that a couple of loads of drainage stone, and you fill that in, put the pipe on top, and carry on. Okay, for the compacting, once you lay the gravel in there and a piece of that weave fabric, you got to pack it down. So I have 3 of these angle braces again, like I did on the other wall. Only this time, instead of welding the stub on the end of each one, I made a reusable piece on a clip there that clamps on, and conveniently enough was able to bolt that on to the my steel plate here, and the hammer goes on that stub, and bang bang bang, and makes a pretty good compactor. Packs everything there down behind the bricks. So that worked pretty good. Now for the next row, I added a little bit of globs of adhesive, which they tell you you don't need, but I put them anyway. And the fabric there is that weed fabric, which keeps the weeds out, but it also keeps the soil from seeping through in between the bricks. So there you go, another row of stones, another layer of gravel, pack it down, carry on. This shows you the idea how they hook together. There's a little lip at the bottom there. And now this is behind the garden. You can see I had to dig another little trench because I wanted to beef that up. That's the high spot. You remember this board had to go. Well, I saved the board. I hammered these angles in there into that trench. You can see how they're in there. Give it a little extra. And then the board, 2 by 12, I had to put my mark on it before I installed it. Goes in there like so, and that'll help hold everything up, because I don't want the garden there to be washing down the hillside when it rains. So here we have the breakfast of champions. Nice way to start the work day. Go out, have a handful of strawberries. There's a cantaloupe there starting to ripen on the vine. So there's the top row of bricks, and that worked out good. Came right across level, and this was good because you could almost not walk behind that garden. So then, after all that hammering, of course, this thing just fell apart. Couldn't handle it. So what I had to do there is get a clamp and just clamp the chisel on there, and that seemed to work. So here's what's left of the old table that was out there for quite a few winters. Fell apart, but the legs were still in pretty good shape, so I gave them the same treatment like I did the fence, and they'll add some stability there to the back of the garden, the raised garden bed. And this guy, there's a whole family of these little guys running around, and they wouldn't sit still. Every time I grabbed the camera, by the time I got the camera out, they were gone. But this guy was slow that day, I guess. So here now is down at the low end. I had a bunch of tree stumps. So those, like so, go in behind the bricks down at the low end, and it just kind of break things up a little bit scenically, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, now it's starting to look like a wall. We got finish, all right, along the top edge there. That cypress out front, I had some limbs that I ended up not putting in the fireplace. So this is the crushed gravel. You pack that down too, and that's makes a nice border there. Then you got to fill in these little triangles. They make rectangular stones, cap stones they call them, to go another row on top. But I didn't want to deal with that, so I just filled it in with some of the gravel, and that seemed to work out okay. And there you have it. That's pretty much the finished product right there. Looks good when you're down in the trench. When you're up in the yard, you can't really see it. Yeah, but what are you going to do? It works. It does the job. Retains the yard. That's what it's there for. So while I'm digging, I occasionally would come across some more colorful decorative type stones, which I saved off to the side, keeping with the stone and wood motif. I'll have to spread them around. And of course the obligatory shot of the roses. Gotta love the American Beauties. And that's about it for this episode. Stay tuned. Next time is the deck. It's been on the list since 1989. So, okay, we'll see you then. Thanks for watching.